our first ever online seminar for you guys for our remote coaching athletes. Got Dr. Han with me. Super happy. Had to increase the size of the room already. We had so many you awesome peeps here. So here's what we're doing. We're going over our goal setting sheet for the quarter. And what we just did, we talked about kind of the idea of goal setting, right? And that the places we want to go with this program, the things we want to accomplish, don't happen just from getting by. They don't happen just from showing up. It takes a higher level of discipline for you guys, right? And a higher level of us helping you make sure you know where you're going with this. So we made a special goal setting sheet. This thing, I mean, it took us about a month to get this done, just to get it editable, to get it set of the really specific parts we want that aren't like, for most people, I'm gonna go, go for a walk this morning. Hey, that's great, but the places we want to go with you guys and that we want to help you accomplish, we need a higher level of that. So this is we literally no one else has this tool in the world. So it's yours. You're the first ones to ever see it. Is that cool? I think that's pretty dope. I think that's cool. Um, has everyone here, give me a yes or no, who here has given the whole sheet a review yet? Have you gotten to look through it? Josh has. I'm Josh has. Josh helped me design it. Yeah, you better have. I mean, that'd be a little rough. All right, so has anyone here not looked at it yet? Hey, Corey, what's up, man? Ara's here. Oh my, dude, everyone's here. This is great. Um, Gordon, yeah, no worries. Well, I'm gonna take you guys through it all. Um, Again, the top part's just easy, okay? It's gonna be your name, and you can actually just input right in that box. If you have it up on your computer, you can try. You can literally type in your first name, last name, email. Your start date is when you started working with us. When you started working with me or Dr. Han, right? And then today's date. Right? And that's just a reference part. Uh, God, Josh Cole. Nah, okay. All right, I'm gonna keep an eye on you, bro. I don't know. What do we say about someone who hasn't looked at it yet? I don't know. But so that's what we're looking for. Just that first part. Make sure you fill that out. Otherwise, we're gonna have someone with an awesome goal and no idea who it is and how to help them. So that's cool. And just so you know, on our side, we can actually upload your goals, and only we can see it. But in Fitbot, where we put your programming, we can actually keep tabs of that regularly. So it helps us so much when we write your weekly stuff to know here's exactly what you're doing. Okay, first part, and this goes in line with our performance funnel that we're going to be launching soon with some of you guys with it in person. The big picture, and maybe Doc may have you say some stuff about this, but this is what we call our what and why statement. Meaning, if you say, "Hey, I want to win state next month," then okay, why? Like, why does that matter, right? Is that for you? Is that part of a larger goal? It's going to help you get into nationals and eventually on the Olympic team. Is that something that you just always wanted to do and you need to prove it to yourself? What are these parts that you need to do? Brandon, it won't let you type on our screen. When you download it, it should for Braden. So it won't let you type on our computer screen. Doc, I'm going to go on mute if you want to say anything about kind of like the what and why statements and why we start here. I'll
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry if I'm echoing, but I think it's super important that we have this part because it sets the stage for everything that you're going to do. Um, like for example, if your goal is to go to the Olympics, it's good to have that goal, but with anything that we have, you try to ask yourself why, and then you ask yourself that why like 10 times. I think a big business lesson that we learn, and Coach Tim and I have kind of gone through this, is your why has to make you emotional in a sense, because it's not, oh, I want to win. You kind of have to really find that deeper meaning, and that's what drives you. Because honestly, like those of you that have started with us, you're actually doing more than you did before, and you're adding that in addition to what you've been doing. So it's a lot more volume, it's a lot more mental stress, it's a lot more commitment. So you have to find that why in order to kind of keep yourself going, even when you're tired, even though when you're stressed, even though when you got family issues or whatever it is. You kind of have to always go back to this why and this ultimate goal to kind of keep you drive. So you, Tim.
Totally. Does that make sense to everyone? Everyone following Doc on that? That it can't just be, we call it, that's why we call it your BHAG, BHAG. So we'll use it just as a verb. What's your BHAG? Like it's a thing. And I want it to be, it's big. Hairy means it's a little crazy, but audacious. Like, what is someone that people are almost gonna like I want people to do this. Like what? Like when I was 16, and everyone knows that I wasn't very good when I was a teenager at fighting. I would still tell people I wanted to go to the Olympics. And this is a true story. So I quit high school after my sophomore year to start training full time, right? Because we didn't have remote coaching here. We didn't have great coaches like you guys have. Facilities, it didn't exist, right? And I came to my parents' martial arts school and I told one of the ladies, and she had got like third at nationals. She wasn't from our school. She was from Berkeley and was down like getting her some med stuff at Fresno State. And I go, oh, I quit school to train for the Olympics. And she was like the best fighter I knew at the time. And she goes, oh, cool. What sport? Like I was crushed, or I was crushed, but at the same time, like I put it out there, like it was that crazy of an idea, but whatever, like let's try and make it happen. And if I just stayed quiet about it, if I couldn't even tell myself that, how am I going to stand up, or how are you going to stand up there in front of someone who is trying to go for that too, right? Because if it was easy, no one would want it. So the things you guys are trying to accomplish are very challenging, right? It is very difficult, whether it's a body composition goal, whether it is lifestyle factors, whether it is getting back in the ring, whether it is doing your first big volleyball competition or whatever, all the way up to team trials at the end of this month, and for a few of you, Rio at the end of the summer. If you don't have the guts to put it out there on paper and to be like, yeah, this is who I am, it's just we have to work on that first. I can't give you a technical approach if we don't have this part first. Does that make sense to everyone? Just
Tim
give me
has
a yes or
something.
no. Yeah, of course. Let me go on mute. Yeah.
I think Josh made a good point. He said making it an emotional goal. I saw him type it somewhere in there. It's regardless if you're a high level athlete, and part of it's because of what I do for a living. We have Olympic athletes, but we also have those that are just trying to like, get over back pain and just even be able to lift their kids. Like I get a lot of women that have post uh, post after they have their kid, they have the back pain. Their life sucks because they can't even hold their kid. So when someone comes into me like that, they're like, oh, I want my back to feel better. And I say, why? It's going back to this goal because it's so it doesn't hurt. I'm like, but why? And it really comes down to they want a better lifestyle. They want to be able to do the things that most people get to do, and that's to live a happy life in order to enjoy their kids, enjoy their husband, enjoy their family. So, it hits on so many levels here. So just, for those of you that aren't competitive athletes, kind of looking at these different aspects is important as well.
Yeah, no, awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, and that's a good point because we have obviously a varied group here, and we have people here that are working out for the first time in their lives, and people that have worked out their whole life. For us as your coaches, and I love to see your guys, thoughts on this. So be ready to type it up for me. What's the most important goal for me and Dr. Han? Like what goals are most important for us? What is it? Is getting someone on the Olympic team the most important goal for us? Josh nailed it. And it's your no, it's your goals, whatever that goal is, right? And if improvements in line with that goal, I mean, usually there is some improvement because if everything was, you know, awesome, usually people aren't looking to improve. But it's whatever your goal is, and we don't have a value in that of like someone comes into Dr. Han like, hey, I need to help my back to pick up my baby, and he goes, cool. As soon as you do this, we'll get you on our Olympic selection track. Like that's not we don't think like that. Our goal here in this first part, and we're going to spend a lot of time on this first part, uh, is that your goals are aligned with your values, right? So write that down, guys, on your notepad. Your goals must align with your values. And what does that mean? It means if you want to, lose 20 pounds as your goal, but you're trying to spend all your time competing, see how those are crossed? Like competing might be fun for you, but your goal is to do that. So we need to focus on nutrition and lifestyle factors and stress. Now they're in alignment. Otherwise, you get people, and how many times do you see this that have parents that they need to compete all the time? And what happens to the kid? Do they want to compete that much? Sometimes not, right? They're pushed because it's the parent's goal. I care about your goals, right? How does your goal work with this? And if your goal is to do that, then let's go in and do it. But you have to get this crystal clear with yourself about what your goals are and what you want to accomplish because it's hard, it's super rewarding, but it doesn't just happen. So, Doc, final word on big picture stuff. Again, we want an emotional that again makes you kind of sit up in your chair. People might kind of go like, you're not going to go to the Olympics. True story. Coaches, high level coaches, told Stephen Lambden in 2006 that hell would freeze over before he made it to the Olympic team. True story. But and did he stop? Okay, I guess all that you keep going. So that's why this part's so critical. Anything to add, Doc? Or are we good?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, just a quick example. Just today, one of the gymnasts that I work with, both her parents contacted me and they said, "Oh, she wants to work on her split leap. It's not that great. She didn't do well at competition, but she's not that competitive, but we want her to do well." So this is kind of funny how Tim's bringing it up. And really, I can talk to him about the technical standpoint, like, oh, she needs to increase power, she needs to increase in mobility here and this and that. But what really needs to happen is I need to be able to talk to her. I need to see, okay, does she really want to win? Does she really want a great split leap? And if she shows that determination to have it, then she has to set the goals. And then I can add the technical aspect. But intrinsically, if she doesn't care too much about competition, it doesn't matter. So, it's super important that we're doing this with you, and I'm grateful for Tim for adding this in because it's a big missing component, because this adds a more of an emotional connection between you and us, and it better allows us to kind of help you reach your goals.
Absolutely, and I mean, we've been through this so much that this is a something that almost like I don't want to say hidden talent, but maybe something that you guys may know us as like the programmers or the coaches in this way. That this is actually a thing that we have had a lot of trial and error and then success with people on. The next part, so you're going to fill that out, you're going to type it in, and then go to the next space, right? So over here, the next part says, what are some additional reasons you train? Everyone can see this? Just give me a yes or no. I want to make sure we're still good on the doc. Good. So reduce stress, healthy lifestyle, improve body composition for competition for a specific sport, improve health markers, meaning like your overall how your body functions, learn and improve new skills. Now you may not check all of these. You might. This isn't to impress us. I'm not going to go, oh man, Taylor checked the most boxes, so she's my new favorite now. That's great. And guess what? Corey checked 2 boxes, so he's not super committed. Like, look, if you check 2 and you go competition training for a sport, look, there was years I didn't really care about my health markers. I didn't like, you know, uh, we fought with concussions and we didn't whatever. You wanted to win. The goal was to win, so I needed to fight. So it's not necessarily how that does. What this does is help us make sure, whoops, went a little smaller, that your goals are aligned with what you're doing. Again, if you're saying your big, hairy, audacious goal is to lose 20 pounds and you only check competition and training for a sport, what am I going to say as the coach now? Hey, we're probably not in alignment, right? Yeah, don't fight with concussions. Exactly. We didn't have the information back then, uh, back in the Stone Age. But do you see how that's not in alignment now, right? I want to get you guys aligned that if your goal is to, let's say again, it's focused on body composition. Stress is a huge factor, right? The higher our stresses and cortisol levels, we'll get into this in a minute, right? Our body starts to store fat because it thinks danger's coming. right? And when we start to think danger's coming, our body soaks it up. And then when we try and lose, our body can't burn it. And then we can't sleep well. When we can't sleep well, we can't recover. When we can't recover, we can't train hard, and you can't do the training we put out for you. So that's a pretty important box there if that's your goal. Good goal for everyone, but that's it. So all you're going to do is check which boxes here. Over here is a 1 to 10 um, marker. So just put how much do you want it. And again, there's no number that's going to impress us of like, oh man, she put in 11. I saw Braden put 11 on there, so he really wants it. I'm gonna give 120%. Like, what does it mean to you? Get real about this. You can't fool us, right? It's not going to happen with this part. So you're going to do that. Heather says, "What do you do if you have more than one big?" Heather, give me an example. I want the big overall goal you're trying to accomplish. We're going to have other goals along the way, but this is like hey, I want to, and I know your daughters play volleyball. I want to make this travel volleyball team is the goal. Emily says, quick question about motivation. Should we hold questions? Yeah, if you have a question right now, go ahead. Some of them, we might not get to all of them. I know Josh is going to help me in the forum. Anything we can't answer now, we will answer offline, just so that way we do it, just so you guys kind of know how this works. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to go to the next page. Right. So the next part is, again, this is the big stuff, the lifestyle parts in our daily habits. And the front page up here says your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values become your destiny. Again, so here we see it again. Are your values aligned with your goals? Because that's going to be where you go. That's going to be what takes you there, right? So we put that up there as kind of a quick reminder. Yeah, Heather, you can put both those up. That's great. That's great. So what I'm looking here for diet, check all that apply. Some of you uh, are naturally gifted metabolically. I didn't have to have a good diet for a long time, and now I focus a lot more on that. Have you altered it? And you're going to check maybe one or two, maybe three boxes. I doubt you'll check more than a few. Do you measure your calories? Like, do you know you're having 2,000, 1,500, which is low? Or are you doing, something? Or are you just eating with abandon and not knowing why you're gaining weight? Do you use pre-workout supplements, right? Um, are you exercising to compensate for poor diet habits? Everyone here knows you can't out-exercise a bad diet, right? This is 2016, and we all know that. I don't care how much you run, you can have good, ability and bad internal function. What that happens, then your body doesn't recover well. When we don't recover well, we can't train hard the next day, and our food is our fuel, right? So this is, again, if this is something where you're like, oh my gosh, coach just blew my mind, message me offline and we'll talk. But there's that. One quick question, I'm going to go circle back. Emily says, what if motivation doesn't equate with reality? Well, then we need to make it, uh, either the big hairy goal. We need to start having reality in the chunks of, again, let's take an extreme example. I want to lose 200 pounds, right? Okay, well, quarter one, we're gonna go. I want to do 5 pounds right now. We're gonna start making that real. Also, I want to know, why do you want something that isn't real, right? Like what is the fascination with wanting something that you can't have then? We call that overreaching, right? So I want you guys to want things that are big and crazy and there, but they're also, you're not gonna, float. What's my goal? I want to levitate. Okay, well, you really can't do that. So I'm gonna keep going on here. So check as many of these, whether you measure your macronutrients, post-workout supplements. Give me a yes or no. Who here is taking post-workout protein? I want to talk about this just for a second. Gordon does, my man, because Gordon's gonna squat 400 pounds. Does anyone not? Give me a no if you're not. Does anyone know? Because again, that's great. So what we know is post-workout protein, usually in the form of a shake. It's hard to eat a meal. It's hard to eat a bunch of steak. And I think eating a steak 20 minutes after you work out is a little rough. But within 30 minutes of your workout, if you don't get recovery-based protein into your body, your muscles will explode. And my wife's laughing in the other room now. She was waiting for it. It's not true, but we do need that in. Now, recovery protein is different than muscle gaining protein, right? There's a few great ones out there. A company called Stronger, Faster, Healthier has a product called Recovery Protein, and it's awesome. I'm not, we're not affiliated with the company. I sold it for years at our gym just because I believe in it. And there's other ones like that. What you'll notice is they actually have a little more carbs than that. Josh, can you type up the Stronger, Faster, Healthier in the chat and the Recovery Protein? It'll actually have not it's not the 50 grams of muscle milk with a guy with biceps busting out his arms. What it's going to do, it's going to replenish your body's fuel sources and start having repair happen right away, right? And maybe Doc, I don't know if you want to talk about a little bit about this cycle real quick of like train and then go after training, kind of recover as good as we can and replenish. So we're you want maybe like a minute on that or so?
Yeah, I think when we think of recovery, especially with what I do, like everyone's like, oh, do I use compression? Do I use foam rolling? Do I stretch? And those are all methods of recovery. But the underlying thing is this what Tim is hitting on is there's three things that are essential to recovery. It's your nutrition, your hydration, and your sleep. And those are all in essence free. So if you kind of have to heal your body from the inside out, it kind of makes sense. So these are super important things to take a look at. And if you're not doing the right things, it's something to make a goal. You make this goal, it's like, okay, I'm gonna start to eat a little better, I'm about to get a little bit more sleep, I'm gonna make sure I drink enough water. Because the goal of each workout is not to, it's the the goal of recovery is number one, like you have your workout, but you have to recover enough where your next workout or your next training is still effective. If you're training too hard and your recovery is not enough and it takes away from your next workout, we're not we're not hitting our goals. So this stuff is super important. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, totally. And that's, I mean, that's why these next three parts are sleep, hydration, nutrition stuff for us. So those are the things that we can control pretty well if you want. We can go as bad as you want. You can go off the rails too on it. But again, training is breaking our body down, right? Again, quick question and type it up fast for me. Okay, get your keyboards ready. Do we get stronger and faster in training or in recovery? Was it who? So I used to think it was training for years, not even joking. Yeah, it's recovery. Because training, think about if you train for 3 hours, your body is broken down. Imagine if you had to do your final fight at team trials after one of our workouts, like within 20 minutes. You're broken down. So what we're going to do, we break you down. These other parts help us recover, come back stronger, faster, better. That's why when we taper before your big tournaments, now you're like, I feel amazing. So this is the idea. But if we don't start recovering as soon as the workout's over, we're wasting time. And like Dr. Han said, our next session, we're at 85%. And I don't want you guys at 85%. I want you at 100%. Okay, so go through these. If the last one on here for nutrition is weekly meal prep. For a lot of you that have bad meal stuff, this is a great place to start because your meals are there. You're not gonna run into Taco Bell when just because you need quick food, but it is set and you have what we call secure meals. They are done for the week. It actually takes less time than going to Chipotle for one day that you can do this on Sunday for the week. Does anyone here meal prep for the week? Yeah, and again, Gordon, you're right. Like if you don't train, if you just recover, I'm like, I'll just recover, right? Tim says I get better, I'll only recover. You have to train to break your body down to repair it to come back stronger. So yeah, Shelby, great stuff. I'm so glad you're on here, Shelby. Um, yeah, meal prep, and again, just what you want to eat for the week, and you can make it really good. For there, you can do it even when you're not cutting weight, Joey, because this is our fuel. This is our fuel. This is what we put in our body. Uh, I think it's crazy. We give our cars good oil changes. I rotate my tires and I give it 91 gas. Yet you're gonna put Taco Bell in your body right before you work out. Like Doesn't make sense. Next part is just which ones are important for you. Maintaining current weight, and that's if you're, obviously you don't have to cut weight for your sport. Lose unwanted body fat, more body composition. Have enough fuel to support my training regimen. This is for many of you that, like Gordon, I'd say you're probably in this one, right? We're trying to obviously focus on body comp, but also enough macros that you can crush your workouts. Gain lean muscle. For some of you, that's true. Regularly drop body weight for competition. How many of you on here have to regularly drop body weight? Well, yeah, all right, the slow cooker, the crock pot takes forever, but you just do it and you walk away and it's done. You don't have to sit there and watch. Yeah, so a lot of you, so that stuff is really important that we're on top of this. That's a key component to your performance, that we're helping you cut weight in a way that when you finally compete, you're not a 60% of yourself, you're at 100% of yourself. All right. And then finally, the one is learn more to decide what I need to do. That's okay. Again, you're not here to impress us. You're not gonna, hey, I'm gonna check the best box that Dr. Han's gonna really like. Like, you can't fool us. Be honest. Be honest with yourself. Okay. Next part, recovery. How much do you sleep per night? 8 hours, 6 to 7 hours, or 6 hours or less, right? Right. So our body repairs most when? That Shelby, 4 to 5 is not going to work at a high level, right? Sleep. Emily has 3 kids, so I get that, right? When sleeping, exactly. Keegan, nailed it, buddy. You're on point today. Most when we sleep, that's why we need early sleep too. Did you guys know that the difference between sleeping from 2 a.m. to 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. is not the same as sleeping 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.? It doesn't work even. Earlier sleep is better too, and I know everyone here in high school hates me right now because I didn't sleep like that. I'm sure Dr. Hall was up studying and stuff. Earlier we get repair better. Second, do you sleep in a dark room with blackout curtains with some light in there, or do you fall asleep doing this, scrolling through your phone, liking one more post? What do you guys like? Netflix. All right. Well, yeah, dark room. Does everyone know what blackout curtains are? You actually are literally gonna have a drape so dark that you pull them over your blinds that it's like a hotel. So that extra dark stuff helps your body start repairing greater than when there's even a little light. Okay. I fought this for years. My wife was like, no, we're getting, because I always slept with the TV on because I had a hard time sleeping. And finally we decided, hey, dark room, blackout curtains. I mean, like drool. I'm sleeping. I'm like drooling over my pillow. So I'm in such a dark place, but I feel up refreshed. I don't use an alarm anymore. It is awesome. So if you're trying to do that, if you have second body composition goals, who here needs weight loss or just body composition as a part of your goal, right? Yeah, just Emily. I think a lot of you are, right? So when we sleep in a dark room, when we get good, high quality, deep sleep, our body sends out the hormone of HGH, the human growth hormone, naturally to repair, right? Not to get big and bulky, but to repair our body earlier in the night. So we want that to happen. We need that. When our cortisol levels are high, which comes up later in the sleep cycle, cortisol levels are high, our body holds on to fat more. So if you're trying to lose weight and you're wondering why you're only sleeping a few hours a night, well, guess what? Your body's not working for you, you're working against it. So again, some of these things seem silly, but super critical for us to talk about. When you wake up in the morning, what's your mood? You should be ready to attack the day, but I bet a lot of you wish you had a little more time. Um, Water intake. We start people at about half of your body weight in ounces, meaning if you weigh 100 pounds, you would like to have you around 75 ounces a day. Now you can do more, but that's a good place realistic for many of you. A good amount, I'd say maybe you're getting like 3, 4 glasses a day, but you're definitely under what you need. And then finally, drinking soda. Mostly drinking soda and some Gatorade or something. Yeah, it includes your whole day. Exactly, includes your whole day, right? What we're finding, who here, again, be honest, who here drinks soda? And I don't mean like on a Saturday with your friend you have one. I mean like during the day you're drinking soda. That's what you drink. What we're finding is that it is going to be in 10 years, mark my words, I'll put this on a webinar that we're going to record so we can look back in 10 years, that it's going to be as bad for you as cigarettes. And I'm standing by that. And look at some of the research out right now. It's just not good. So that's what we want to know that. We want, clear fluid and other good fluids are in there, fine, but mostly that. And then finally, the last one is a stressful day kind of thing. What's your typical day like? Is it a good balance of learning, training, play, and work? That you're busy, but somehow you get it done, but you're kind of like, every day you're scrolling through your pad, like what else do I have to do? Or are your days so overloaded that you don't know how you're falling asleep on this call? Right, so that's what we're trying to look, and that's a stress management one. Again, because if we're, uh, I mean, if you think about this, training is a regimen of stress, right? A training program is a regimen of stress, right? So there's good stress and bad stress, it's okay. The right amounts can help adaptation. But if you have a stressed life and you're stress, and now we're adding a lot of stress, guess what? It may not be the best thing for you. So we know if you have a lot of stress, that there's certain type of workouts and program design that's better for you, right? That will actually help your stress levels instead of incite it. So that's for us to do, but it's, when you help do this, helps us design your program better. Doc, anything before we move on to the next section?
No, I think you make really good points as far as how we program. If you're and every individual is different. Some people like really high intensity things to de-stress, but there is a certain population where high intensity stuff actually makes them more stressed. So it's super important that you answer these questions, and it helps us get to know you. Um, Personally, when I begin programming, you see very little energy system things. It's an opportunity for me to kind of get to know how you respond to exercise, especially if you haven't really done a set program before. And then I add the energy systems as times go, because I want to see how sore you are. I want to see how fatigued you are. And if you feel like you need more, then we add like tri-set instead of superset, and we add more energy system things. And it's just really kind of gauging where you're at. So super important stuff.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. And there's so much gold in that. Everyone now is on this quarter. Now we're chunking it down. So again, we have the overview of what's your lifestyle like. And again, those things matter because if you're telling me, hey Tim, hey Dr. Hahn, I want to do X, Y, and Z. My goal is this, I'm this, but I'm also doing, I'm in school full time and I own my own business and I do X, Y, and Z, but I'm going to go to the Olympics and it's going to happen fast. And I know I haven't really, we're going to go, whoa, 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 let's start doing a piece at a time. We want to start getting it done right for you. What can we prioritize? So that's what that's all about. This quarter, right? So every quarter we're doing this, every 3 months, and I'll get into kind of why a quarter works well for this group. Um, this is where everyone's going to have something in this box. No one will not have something in this box. What are your events, deadlines, or competitions coming up? Everyone here is going to have some sort of event, deadline, or competition every quarter. Meaning, I don't mean you have to go compete at nationals this month, but hey, if we're away, we're going to have some sort of testing we'll do at the end, right? Or maybe you're into fitness, CrossFit, and you're gonna do a weightlifting meet this month just for fun, or we're gonna max out, or hey, you're gonna go, it's right after nationals, let's say, and nationals are done for you, and you don't have it open until the fall. Hey, you're gonna go hike this mountain, and we're gonna train to do something. There's something that's happening that you're going to focus on because without goals, we drift. And when you drift, what happens then? Who knows what happens when you drift? Yeah, nothing, exactly. Ain't nothing good happening when you drift. So every quarter, and yeah, you lose sight of the big goals. Exactly, Allison nailed it. Yeah, how are you gonna hit your BHAG if you don't have a quarterly goal to help you get there, right? So everyone, and again, I don't care what it is, there is something we are gonna do every quarter, right? Some of you, it may be, hey, I'm gonna do a 1 mile run for time on June 30th. That's fine, right? That's it. It doesn't, again, I don't care what that test has to be for your goal or like kind of concrete date, but you all will have one, right? So this also helps us know what your competitions are. If you say, hey, I have team trials April 30th, well, that helps us design your programming versus getting a message 2 days before of, oh, hey, just so you know, I have trials tomorrow. Oh crap, we could have helped you peak really, really well. That's something we do an awesome job at, and we didn't get that opportunity. So it helps us know exactly what's coming up, and it helps you not avoid it. It's real. So put those out there, whatever dates you can have. Many of them, it might be one, but everyone will have that. And again, if you don't have one, we can do a body composition check-in. We might say, hey, June 30th, we're going to get out the tape measure and calipers and scale, and you're going to, by June 30th, we're going to see if you lost those 5 pounds. That can be a check-in too. That's fine. Again, I'm not saying you have to get out there and do whatever, but something. Everyone here is everyone really clear about that? That every quarter in this program, everyone will have something they're going to accomplish. Crystal clear, and why that works. Awesome. You got it, Gordon. Yeah, exactly, Gordon. And again, you're rehabbing your stuff. You're getting strong again. Gordon wants to get a 400-pound back squat. We might do a 1 rep back squat test on June 30th, right? Who knows? Or June 20th. That could be his test. It's fine, right? I might also follow up with a 10-minute Airdyne calorie test because I'm sick like that, but whatever. The other part to this, um, let's see. Well, I'm getting a few comments here. Okay, that's good. Everyone's clear on this part? Next one is what are the issues? What are the hurdles? So you say, hey, I have, let's use team trials as an example. I have this big competition coming up on, April 30th, whatever. Um, what are the issues? I need to raise money to get there. I don't have training partners. What are those, right? So the more clear you can know about the hurdles to do it, is it time? Is it, hey, I am working this much. I know Shelby's in grad school now, or just got accepted. Shelby, have you started grad school in the fall, right? So that's going to be hard. So that's a hurdle. But look, Dr. Hahn, I was on national team when I was in grad school. Dr. Hahn fought when he was, full time in school. So you can do it, but it's a hurdle. It's not easy, but it can be done. So it doesn't mean like, hey, there's a hurdle. Guess what? You should give up. Every one of you, everyone, you should just give up right now. There's going to be a hurdle. So let's quit. No, that's what this is for. And then finally, what is your plan? What are you going to do to overcome that? Are you, look, if you're in grad school or college, are you time blocking your day? Doc, when you were in at Berkeley, were your days pretty well regimented with what you're going to do when?
Yeah, definitely. It it comes down to that BHAG. What do you want? If you really, really want it, you're going to figure out a way to kind of accomplish it. So I believe time management is a skill, and it has to be learned. It has to be practiced. And if you don't have it down, you're going to have to tweak it a little bit and then give up some things. If you go back to our funnel, like part of it is lifestyle choices. Are you going out with your friends? You might have to sacrifice that a little bit. Make good decisions. Are you gonna go to prom, or are you gonna go training? And these are a lot of things that Tim, Tony, and the rest of um, our good friends and teammates had to sacrifice in order to kind of be where we are now. And during the time, it's not fun, but you look back and you're pretty happy that you did it, because you become someone that people want to be. And then you're setting yourself up for success, not only in athletics or health, but your future in your profession. And it really kind of starts where you are right now. So good stuff, Tim.
Yeah. Awesome, awesome. The next part is review and reflection, right? Your last goals matter. You can't just keep setting new ones. And it's like, have you ever reached one of your mini goals? No. Well, guess what? You're probably either overreaching or like, me and Emily will talk about, later. Are they really realistic? And why do you want that goal? Is that something that we can do? Is this something we have to actually coach you and go, hey, this is really how this works? And, I always call it the Gatorade commercial mindset, right? Everyone sees like the Gatorade or underarm commercial where someone's just training 10 hours a day. They're running upstairs with a log on their back and all never stop. Well, guess what? That person probably has rhabdo and they're never recovering and their actually body's going to get injured really soon, right? And they have green sweat. Yeah, it's gross. But it's not real. That's not how those athletes got there. It's not real, but we think it is. So then we want to overreach to do that. And when we overreach, we're not following a real path and we don't get there. So in this part, what was your previous goal? Retype it there. Did you get it or not? And did I complete it or move forward? So again, let's say, you know, you weren't quite there, but you're very close to doing it. Yes, it's good. Or hey, you not even close. It's a no. Like wheels fell off. We can always restart, but we need to know. Next part is again, a little more review. Over the last 3 months, these are things that you did in training that you're proud of, right? If there aren't things that you're really enjoying in training, we need to help you find those things, or you need to start looking for those things and doing them, right? And then also, look, every quarter you're going to have something you struggle with. It might be, you know, that you got injured. That's an easy one. It might be that, man, that was a little harder than it was last time you didn't make training a priority. Your meals weren't good. I did good on training, my meal prep stunk. So I didn't get my body composition I wanted. That could totally happen. I did good on training, I did good on eating, my sleep was bad. Right? So we can start looking at this and what does that tell us what to do? What information does that give us and does that give you? And it's not rhetorical, right? Emily's giving it a shot. Come on, you got it. Can't believe more people aren't jumping on this one. Thought this was a layup, right? If we said, hey, your training was good, your nutrition was good, your sleep was bad, and that kept you from reaching your goal, then what does that tell us? What information does that give us? Exactly, Gordon, exactly. What area to focus on? We're going, hey, these are good. Let's make a strategy now to start helping adjust that lifestyle. Exactly. Hey, Josh, you got it. Or different routine or an alteration. It may not be like let's throw the baby out with the bathwater, but let's make a little adjustment. So who knows? But that's what we want to look for. And then helping you guys make good associations. When you train regularly, how do you feel? Right? How do you feel when you're on it? When you're like, man, this week meal prep was good, hydration was good, recovery was good, and I trained so good. How do you feel about yourself? Right? And when you don't, when you go, hey, this isn't a priority, I'm going to do this, I'm going to have this bag of nacho cheese Doritos instead, and then your training tomorrow stinks and you're cutting weight a little harder than you want, how do you feel then? Right? And I guarantee you it feels better to be training regularly than hating yourself and not. Right? Everyone agree with that? That's pretty obvious. But I want to know you. What is it like? Maybe when you don't make a training a priority, maybe it doesn't matter. You go, don't really notice a difference. That's fine. You know. All right. Now we're getting into the to where the rubber meets the road. All right. So our SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. Right? SMART. Our four keys: have the right plan, telling your friends and family, making it public, focusing on the benefits of why it's good, because it's going to be hard. So we have to remember why it's good and what are the rewards along the way. So this is where we're going to put in what our one specific thing we want to get to in these 3 months is. It's tangible, right? It's S is specific. So again, let's say, so I'm gonna give you some coaching here, Heather. Perform better is vague, right? What does perform better mean? I want to say, hey, are you going to run this much faster, do this much more, many more repetitions? Are you going to be on weight faster for your tournament, right? I will be no more than 5 pounds overweight a month out for US Open. I will win the US Open or win the US team trials this month. That is very specific. It is miserable. Did you do it or did you not do it? Right? Did it happen or did it not? Um, right? I keep getting I don't know what I'm doing. Keep losing the size of this thing, right? Is it attainable? Is it realistic? Look, hey, is it realistic for me to say I'm going to make the national team at the end of this month? And look, I was on team for a long time. Is that realistic for me? All right, it's not. You want to know why? Yeah, because Charlie's in my division, so I can't beat Charlie. No, I'm kidding. I haven't because I can't get into team trials. It was a selection procedure from last year. I can't get into that tournament, so that would be an unrealistic thing for me to do in April. At Golden Senior, when I'm 40, soon enough, four more years. I gotta start training now. But again, so even if I had the ability, I can't get into that tournament, right? There's not an ultra team. That'd be sad. Not an ultra team fighting. I can barely kick above someone's waist right now. Um, is not super senior. Um, right? Picture me kicking Dr. Han in the leg. I'll save it for you guys that have good skill. Okay. Your completion date. When in the next 3 months is this going to be done? Right? But I agree. Ultra's a bomb. My mom's three-time world champion for the 60 and above division. I'm saying I can't do that. Right? That's for her. That's for her goal. So when is it going to be done? Next part, how does this fit into your big, hairy, audacious goal? So this is the connection now. How does that fit in? And what was the phrase I had you write down earlier? Who remembers this? Who actually wrote it down? There's a few of them. Yeah, goal got a plan as a wish, and goals align with value. Exactly. Yep, those are the two I was looking for, right? So does this goal align with your big goal? It needs to be in alignment. Exactly, Sierra. It needs to be in alignment with that. But if you're saying, hey, again, I want to lose, 10 pounds of weight this month. What am I going to do this month? I want to go squat 400 pounds. Well, those aren't the same thing, right? We need a test that's in alignment with your big goal, right? So that's what I want there is for you to understand how does that goal connect there. All right. Any questions on this page so far? This is where we're making what we're going to do in this 3 months, and everyone has to have one. And it's got to either be again something you're going to do that's concrete. All right, awesome, awesome, no questions. It's going to happen in 3 months, and it can be anything, but it has to happen. And I don't mean you have to accomplish it. Like you may get it, you may not. But in these 3 months, you're going to say, I am going to, get on the scale and do this. I will compete at this tournament. Doc, anything to add?
No, I think this is it's a really good format as far as it helps you put your thoughts and your dreams on paper. Like part of being a winner is being objective and looking at yourself and deciding there are things that you can do better. If you don't have anything you can measure against, then you're kind of, you're like Tim said, you're drifting. So this is something important, and I wish that I had this when I was competing. And when I looked at when Tim sent this out to me, I was like, wow, I'm gonna give this to all my not only all my athletes but my clients. I'm working with 40 gymnasts next door. Some are elite level, some are not so elite level, so they're all going to have different goals. So this is super important for everyone.
Yeah, awesome. Next, now we're chunking it down even more. So we call like the 10,000 foot view or 30,000 foot view, chunk it down a little more. Now we're getting into like, here's what you're going to do. These are your action steps. There's three of them. It's 3 months. So each one has 1 month, right? Each one is 1 month. Part two is month two. Part three is month three. So as a training plan, that gives really good for us because usually there's about 3 weeks of ramping up, and about a week we pull you back to recover, right? We can't, training doesn't work like this. It just doesn't. We kind of go up and pull back, up and pull back, and up and pull back, and that's how we keep you healthy and fresh in the long run, right? So what I'm looking for is specifics, right? Not Pacifics. I'm looking for specifics. Vague plans fail, right? So for your first sub goal, we'll give a couple examples on this, but let's say your first sub goal is to get ready for nationals in the beginning of July. Well, hey, this month you're probably going to need to qualify for nationals. Or you may need to say, hey, I need to get my weight in this order. Or if you're wanting to squat 400 pounds, well, by July, Well, we better be at 370 pounds this month, right? And 385, and then slowly more. So what is a measurable thing? And the example here was the easy one. Instead of saying you're going to run 2 days out of the week, you're going to run Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. You put it down, you write it down, you put it in your time block, and it's set, right? So we can, does this make sense, guys? Um, on this of being very specific. Each one, this is what's going to happen in April. Step one is what are you going to do in April? And it could be, hey, your first sub goal, if your goal is to win nationals, let's say you're already qualified, it could be my back kick's going to get way better this month, this technical. Or if it's volleyball, you could say, hey, I'm going to improve my jumping ability this month by this. I want to be able to do this. So that way, when it's the national championships this summer or a big tournament, you're not like, oh, I got to do all these 40 things now. You're set and you're close. Yeah, yeah, Josh, it's all good. That's why we're doing this, and that's why we refined the last procedure. Um, you're also out of the program. I'm sorry, we have to kick you out now. I hate to see it go like this, but no, it's cool. Like, look, we're here to give ongoing coaching always. So if there's something you guys don't get, I think we're pretty easy to talk to. So that's what we're looking for. Is first sub goal is what? What are you doing this month, and why do you think you can get it? Like what? Give me some data why. If you want to lose, let's say you're going to lose 10 pounds by July, and you want to lose 3 pounds this month. What are you going to do? Right? I'm going to be disciplined. I'm going to do whatever. What are you going to do to achieve this sub goal? I'm going to meal prep. I'm going to make sure my macros are counted. I'm going to make sure I get really good sleep. I'm going to make sure I drink half my body weight in ounces. Right? Everyone clear on that? On this part? Awesome, Heather. Thank you, Keegan. Good. Finally, what are the obstacles this month? Right. So you may not have five. Not everyone has five obstacles. You may have one or two. Right. If it was to improve a technical part of your training, and that's very important, that's a good goal to say, hey, I want to improve, this part. I want to improve this lift or this thing or this kick or this technique or a mobility piece. That's great. Well, what would be an obstacle in increasing your mobility? Someone give me an example. If you're tight. And injury, you have an injury, it's hard to get more mobile. What else? What if you don't know what to do? What if you don't know how to use a foam roller? Right? That might be hard, right? What if you don't know how to do this stuff? So it could be any area here we want to overcome this potential obstacle. That's what we're looking for. And I want you guys to know clear what is potentially in the way. Got it? Thumbs up, we're good? All right, next month is the same thing, but now we're halfway there. So we've gotten through that first part. Now I want to know we're halfway. And again, picture this. Where do you need to be in the middle of May to get to the end of June? Right, right. Uh, yeah, Doc says biggest obstacle I see, making it a goal, making it a priority. Yes. The things that we are organized with in our life, we're generally making a priority of. Right? So if you have good, or if you're really good about writing your stuff down, I bet that's important to you. So I want you to help it understand why is that important? Because has anyone out here ever seen my truck? My mom has, and well, my mom's like, and mom, am I generally, I'm kind of not the cleanest person, right? I'm not super organized. I'm better than I was as a teenager, right? Come on, give me a little something. I'm better at that. But is my truck immaculate? Yes, all the time. Why? Because it's important to me. That's a priority, right? It wasn't a priority to clean my room. It wasn't important, right? And now I'm older. I have a home. It's important now to be clean. But so I want you to again make that connection with what is a priority and what is important to you. So if this is important, we're going to get there. So where are we halfway? Same thing. Month two. Again, if it was squatting 400 pounds, hopefully you're about 385 pounds now. We have a little left. If you're cutting 10 pounds of weight, you're going to be 6 pounds or 7 pounds down now, right? So we're almost there. We're getting it in. If it's to learn to do a better back kick, maybe now you're doing it when you're stepping at the start of class, or you can do it during match fights in your gym. Maybe not in the competition yet, but you're able to throw it a little more consistently, right? So we're not just learning the technique. We're almost there, right? And it's the same process. Why do you believe you can achieve it? Like what do you have in you that you can do? And what are the specific things here that you can do? When you want to achieve this sub goal, what are you going to do? What are you willing to do for it? Yeah, Doc, anything you want to add on kind of the halfway mindset of this, or things that, halfway to, and this is where most people fall off is halfway. We're good at the beginning and end. Halfway, we're like, "Boop," and we try and cram. So what are some thoughts you might have?
No, I just kept thinking about the hashtag, the struggle is real. So, it is the struggle. It's very hard to kind of keep motivated and you know, keep on trucking along, especially when the end of the tunnel is a little bit farther down, so that's why it's super important to set these beginning, middle, and end goals to kind of keep yourself motivated. Um, that's all I really have to add. It is tough. I'm not gonna lie. It takes a certain person to be able to do this and to execute it. And I'm hoping everyone here can do it. I'm gonna be realistic and say not all of you can. So I want you guys to prove us wrong. It's kind of really up to you to put in the work and put in all the everything it takes to kind of be where you want to be.
Yeah, that's super, super good. Thank you. On that, just know, out of the three blocks, which is the hardest? Of month one, month two, month three, which one's the hardest? Sierra nailed it. Keegan got it. Month two. If you like, when my wife gives me a grocery list, I can remember the things at the beginning and at the end. The stuff in the middle, I can't remember. And that's a normal way of learning, right? That the middle is hard. We drift. We kind of forget why it was important. In the beginning, let's say you just lost a tournament. Man, when you come back to the gym, how motivated are you to train? Oh man, you're on it, right? You're on it. And then right before the tournament, you're on it, right? But why can't we keep that up in the middle? Because you can. That's where the real training is. That's where the biggest chunk happens. That's where the adaptation happens. Not in the 3 days before. Not in the 3 days at the start when you're fired up. That's the Gatorade commercial mentality. That's that montage. And what's real is the long hard work, the long hard road. That's what's real. So it may not be what you want to hear, but that's the reality of it. And we're not here to sugarcoat it.
Coach,
Finally,
let
as a
me
home. Go ahead.
let me ask you a question. Like when you write your monthly programming, and then you look at all the comments that come initially, right? We write the new workout. It's like, holy crap, we're doing rotational box jumps. We're doing this and that. And we're getting thumbs up. We're getting, oh my God, this is so awesome. I'm so tired. And then by the second and third week, how many comments do you actually get?
Yeah, that's so true, right? And then we go, hey, next week we're gonna start a new cycle. Oh, great, okay, we're back again. So again, part of that is natural, just that our bodies do that, and part of that is mentally that we can be stronger than that stuff. That can we stay engaged? Can we make this that important for you guys and help you have the tools to do that? So, and that's when the big things are happening. The final month, month three, what's the first sub goal of this month? What are we going to accomplish just that month? I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, same process to get us there. What are the obstacles again that month? So we're going to do that 3 times, one for April, one for May, one for June. Now you can't always go back in and make changes. Let's say through May, you're like, oh man, I'm here way faster, or I'm a little behind. We can of course look at that and make alterations, right? This is not set in stone. That's why it's in an editable PDF because you can edit it and do that. But that doesn't mean you're not accountable for it. That doesn't mean just because we can go back and do it that I can say something, I don't have to do it. I'll just change it. No, we're going to hold you to the fire. The final part, here we go, is the benefits. Why does this matter? Like, why do you want to go do this thing, right? And here it says, focus on how much better life will be for you and those around you when you achieve your goal. Like if you want to quit smoking, right, make a list of benefits of giving it up, hang it somewhere in the house so you can look at it every day. Is it to be a better role model to your family? Enough energy to make it through a business meeting or studying? Uh, you know, uh, so the smoking is the easy example. I don't think that's really anyone's issue here, hopefully. Maybe for some people that's okay. But the idea is that there is something really positive making that emotional connection of this goal. And what does it do? Does it unlock more stuff for you? Like what's the real benefit of making national team? If those of you that are competitive in that, what's the benefit of that? That you can brag to people and go, "Hey, I'm on national team." Is that it? And you're like, "I did it. I'm done." What what's the benefit of losing 10 pounds? Yeah, exactly. Going to better tournaments to fight more people, right? RN, why does it matter to go to G4s and G8s, which are high-level international taekwondo tournaments? For those here that don't know the gibberish, it's fine. Yeah, and why does having more points and more ranking help? Better swing at turning. Just get to the because that's going to help you get to the Olympics, which is probably your big hairy goal, right? Is that your ultimate big goal, Ara? You want to go to the Olympics? Yes. So that's why those things matter. So every little step now you have when it's like I have my protein. Well, guess what? For me, taking protein after a workout is me trying to make it to the Olympics. I'm not just drinking a shake. There is a direct connection there. When I go to bed at the right time, hey, guess what? That's helping me lose that weight I need to do to get to my body composition goal, right? If I do whatever, that's going to help me lift more. It's going to make the other weight relatively less heavy to lift, and I can lift it over and over again, faster and faster. That's the idea, right? So each part of that matters. So there are benefits to this. Go through that. The next part seems the easiest. Who here thinks this part's easy? Step 4, going public. Yeah, exactly. Now I think but it's the easiest in theory. You literally can do this. Like there's nothing physically stopping you from doing this, right? I mean, like we talk just logically, rationally, there's nothing stopping you from telling someone your goal, right? Is there? Is someone like, I'm gonna beat you up if tell me your goal. You're out of this household. No one has goals in this house, right? There's nothing actually stopping us except ourselves, right? So the only thing that's stopping you is you. And so that's why I wonder, yeah, they're negative. I mean, but you're going to be so strong, and you believe if your belief in your goal is dependent on someone else's belief in your goal, then I don't know how much you want that goal. That's okay, but I want you to want this goal so much. It's so important to you. Like, did I stop training when that girl didn't even know what sport I wanted to train for the Olympics at when I was in my parents' own martial arts school and I wanted to make it to the Olympics in that sport? Like, yeah, that was fuel for the fire, man. I still think about it. It still gets me going when I'm like, those are doubters, those are haters, those are the people that, man, that's fuel. You want that? That's good stuff. Second, if you don't have people that doubt you, you're not doing it right. You're not doing it right. Some people should doubt you. Why is that? Why does that make sense? Shouldn't we want everyone on our side? What why does it make sense that we do need some people to doubt us? Shelby, you don't think so? It gives you drive. Uh, Also, it's because your goal's that big. Exactly, your goal isn't big enough. Heather, awesome job, right? I want your goal to be that big that not everyone's going to get you. Hey, Steve Jobs got fired from his own company, right? Is he a genius? Yeah, pretty much undoubtedly, right? Look at all these things. Well, if those are circumstances, then we attack it by that. And then if I say the question is, what if it's not doubters, but circumstances beyond your control? Then I try and see if your goal is in alignment with your values and if or you are overreaching or if that's a realistic goal. So that's back to that top spot. But if we've already lined it up and we say your big, hairy, audacious goal is something that is meaningful to you, you want to achieve it, we're going to get your lifestyle factors in line. We're going to chunk it down into smaller steps. We've already gone through those parts. So anything else is like, eh, that's just being dumb, you know? right? And then we say, hey, well, then we have goals and choices. What's the choice, right? Do you want to make this choice or not? Yeah, so this is a lot of stuff, but I'm giving you guys permission to know some people are not going to like where you're willing to go for yourself. Oh, you're selfish. Oh man. Emily's all focused on her body now. Oh man. All Gavin does is talk about squats, right? Ara's just talking about G4s all the time. What does that even mean? I don't even get this. That's okay. That's okay, right? If all you're trying to do is like, hey, what do you want to do with your life? Maybe just flip some burgers at McDonald's. Nothing wrong with that, but everyone understands that. That's why no one is striving to have that as their lifelong ending profession.
Can I add something,
Can I
Tim?
add something, Tim? Oh, please, please, sir. I was on a ramp there. I need a second to
No, no,
calm
no, it's
down. No,
perfect.
no, no.
So I think it's related to this, you know, like I see some of the comments and they're like, oh, um, yeah, there are going to be haters out there. There's going to be this, there's going to be that. But y- I think it's important to surround yourself with people that support you. You know, like I don't know exactly the saying, but you're the sum of the five people you hang out with the most. Is it something like that? But it's definitely true. And if there are negative people around you, if there are haters, those aren't the people you want to spend time with. You know, and these are not just like sport goals, these are life goals. These are life lessons. So you want to surround yourself by the people that have the same type of goals, have the same type of values, and will support you no matter what, but will tell you when you're wrong. They'll be your biggest critics as well. So that's those are the type of people you need to surround yourself with. And don't be scared to put it out there. And if you don't want to put it on social media, if you don't want it on Facebook, like you said, the first one is write it down on a sheet of paper. You know, you kind of put it right next to your bed, put it on the mirror, first thing you see in the morning. I'll tell you a little bit. I didn't necessarily put goals on paper when I was fighting. I put like I was very studious. So I always did my best at team trials because like I knew, okay, these are the 4 or 5 people, but I studied them not only on video, not only at practice, but I wrote everything down. So before I went to bed, I looked at that list. In the beginning, it became something I really had to look at, but over time, I just glanced at it. I knew it was there. I knew what I knew what I had to do, and it was automatic, you know. And that's just one of the tips that I do for a lot of my athletes. You know, do you have to choose what drives you, and you have to see it a lot in the beginning because you're your biggest critic. You're not going to believe yourself. So, but over time, the more that you look at it, it's going to become automatic, you know, and then it's just a matter of actually doing it. So, back to you, Tim.
That that was super insightful, Coach. But here's what I want you to do is think about who you can tell. If you are nervous about putting it out there, that's okay. You will get better. This is like a muscle. You will get better at it, and you get skin and like, I mean, it was to the point where I just tell everyone I got so comfortable. Like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. Wow. But then I believed it so much that guess what happened? Less people thought it was crazy. Why did that change happen? Why did over time less people think I was crazy about my goal? Because it happened. I believed it more. No, I believed it. The, people you meet, they didn't know what my ranking was in competition. They didn't know. I mean, I would just talk to like a server, like my server at a restaurant. Oh, this is what I do, or a job. I could have just been making it up, but I was so clear and focused about it that that negativity started to go away more. Yeah. So that really happens. So what I want you to do is think of who can you tell? Right? So it says tell family, friends, colleagues. If you're unsure, can you tell your brother or sister or your mom or your significant other? Hey, and I mean, again, hey, I did this goal sheet. I'm really committed to losing 10 pounds this next month. I'm going to start running by June, right? I am nervous to say it to anyone else, but I trust you. I'm going to want to make it to team trials. I want to win team trials, right? You can be nervous saying that. That's okay. Like Aura, or you have team trials at the end of the month, right? And a bunch of you do, right? Have you told like is your goal to make team? Have you told anyone? Have you like, yeah, no, I'm going to win that tournament. I want to win that tournament. I'm not cocky, like I got this in the bag. I'm not going to train. I'm not showing up. I got this. You know who I am? It's not that. It's just that, yes, you are going to do that. So think of who you can tell, because there are people you can tell. So don't think of who you can't. And over time, you'll get better. But I do challenge you, if you do want to post it out there publicly, you'll be surprised. Yeah, maybe you get someone who's like, doesn't get it, but you'll be surprised who rallies to support you. People will rally to support you, right? And that's a good thing. And then you can't back out of it, which is great. Final steps, almost finished. The last thing we're going to do is I want you to reiterate your SMART goal one more time, right? And again, that's the micro goal we're going to have laser focus on over the next 3 months. So you're going to put this in an I will statement. The next 3 months, I will, and what are you going to do? Because we say you will make this happen. You're going to say I will do and fill in the blanks, right? And this is the one, if you want to put it over your bed, if you want to write it on post notes around the house, if you want to put it on the refrigerator, if you want to put it as your Facebook status, by June 30th, I will, boom, put it out there and start, and then make it happen. Right? So that's the last part. It says make a copy, put it somewhere you'll see every day. Out of sight is out of mind. So while this is a computer document, print it out or make it your screensaver. You open up your computer, first thing you do. Awesome. Yeah, I will statements, Allison, exactly. They say they really help. Put on the bathroom mirror. That's a wonderful spot. You go to the bathroom, the restroom. I mean, you probably brush your teeth almost every day, I'll bet you. I'm kidding. Hopefully, you brush your teeth every day. So you're going to see it in there. And that's just super critical to do. The only part of this, the signature box doesn't work. It's just an actual signature. So yeah, you can't unless you print it out and do it. So for this one, we'll get that altered for the next go round. That and date, but the date you can do, I think, but the signature you just can't do. Save it with your name. Save it with your name as the thing and the date. So you'll say, Tim Thackeray, goal April 26, 2016. Yeah, I mean, we did this. When I shared that first file with you guys, it had all my goals on there. What I want to do with this as a company. You saw, I want to grow it. I want to have us have 100 people. Is that like by, is that a pretty big goal? Let's have 100 people, all different sports walks of life. I don't have it in Word. I mean, why couldn't it happen? Keegan, could happen. It will happen. I will get 100 uh, awesome individuals in this program and help them reach their goals. I'm going to do that. Me and Dr. Hahn and Coach Graff are going to do that. We're going to facilitate that. And for me, it's not, yeah, it could happen. Oh, and do I seem unclear when I say that's going to happen? Like, we're going to do that. When I look back at this, I'm going to go, wow, we have more. And I have a goal. I want to help you guys reach your goal. Dr. Hahn wants to help. Is that unclear? Yeah, we really are going to do that. You know? So for us, that's that important. Um, that is how to fill out the sheet. Does anyone have any questions on this that we didn't address? And again, if you're not comfortable posting here, you can message us offline. You have our emails. So, I'm always, yeah, if you could upload it to the FitPot in the messages, that'd be great. If you're unsure, just email us. That's fine. But if you can upload it back where I sent you the doc, that would be great. Okay, yeah, so if you have digital signature set up on the doc, you can sign it. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it. Yeah, Josh got these filled out for us, so he made this doc for us. Worked with people in India, got it done. So thank you very much, sir. Um, yeah, super great. I mean, again, I don't know how to. I designed it, Dr. Han and I designed this, but I can't technically design it. We had the ideas based on your stuff. Um, okay, so again, to reiterate, we have till the end of next week to get this done. But we know these things are true. Those of you that get this done sooner are more likely to commit to your goals. And I don't mean that you rush it and you do a bad job, but that is a priority for you. It's a priority to set goals. Guess what? If it's a priority to set goals, it's probably a priority for you to accomplish goals. If it's not a priority for you to fill this out, it's probably not a priority for you to do them in the first place. And then you're going to drift. And we know drifting is the worst. All right, that's everything today, guys. Thank you so much. Was this helpful? Let me ask one last final question. Was this helpful having a online training like this with everyone? Yeah, I'd like to do this monthly on different topics, and we'll do different topics. We'll come back around to goals, but I mean stuff on different mobility and activation. We talked a lot about nutrition, hydration, sleep. We can dig into that, dig into parts of the training that we're giving out and what's new stuff. So if that would be good for you guys, we'll definitely take it on. We have a lot of things we're building out. Um, on here. Like, I mean, we have, if you saw my sheet, you saw some of my big goals that I'm trying to, and we're trying to create some really big stuff. I'm not afraid to put it out there and say it and say, hey, we're going to make this happen. So but it starts with you. It starts with you guys getting dialed in and knocking out this stuff and taking full advantage of this. So I'm grateful you guys were on here. We went longer than I thought, but there was just a lot of good material to do. Dr. San says, send us topic requests. If there's anything you want to talk about, that's what we'll do. Doc, anything you want to add, sir?
No, nothing big. I appreciate everyone being here, because this we do it for you guys, and you guys are the driving force behind why we do it. So we really appreciate you guys being here, and hopefully Tim and I and Tony can continue to help you guys along. And like I said, we're send us topic requests or like any request. Like if you want more info on this, want us to kind of even shoot some videos on this and that, because most of the time it's just Tim, Tony, and I racking our brain trying to figure out what we think people want to see, what they want to hear. And if we hear directly from the people that we're working with, it makes sense. So, keep the I see nutrition. We're
Yeah,
working
and
on
I
it.
mean,
We're working on
yeah, we're
it.
definitely working on it. Yeah, but that's the truth is that we're not creating content just for like, oh, it'd be fun to talk about. It's what can we make that's applicable to you? Oh yeah, I have a calculator for you on that, Emily. But what's applicable to you guys? So the more we know about this, we can give you the stuff you need. Um, because this is not, we did not have this coming up as athletes. We were guessing, we were making it up on our own. Part of that made us really strong now as leaders and coaches because we had to do that. But we didn't get there as fast or as quickly or as effectively as we could have. And that kept us from, I think, doing some other things we wanted. So we want that for you, that we can learn from all the things we've done from our whole group. If you're not in the Facebook group, make sure and request into the Facebook group, and I will email this out to everyone. Cool? Everyone, is it good stuff? Right on, guys. Well, thank you so much for being a part. Have an awesome Sunday night. You still have time for Walking Dead coming on here in a little bit, so that's good. Awesome. You guys watch. Well, thank you guys for being so engaged here. That helped, made it good for us. Dr. Hahn, thank you for your time, sir, and have a good weekend, all right?